Hey guys, Funky Like Feathers here. I got asked about how I annotate books. Before we get started, let me know if you do annotate, right? Like, have you tried this before? How did it go? Is this gonna be your first time? How are you doing with the fact that you're going to be writing in a book? Does it hurt? Are you willing to do this? Let me know how you feel about it down in the comments below, and let's get started. So I am about to read this book, The House in the Cerulean Sea. I'm gonna read it for my February's month-long book club where we meet once a month and discuss the book. This is February's book. I figured I would go ahead and annotate it while I'm reading it because a lot of times I just end up thinking about annotating, and especially since I only have one adult book a month, I may as well just go ahead and put the little extra effort in it. So that's something to consider. When you do annotate books, it is gonna be a little bit slower to read just because you're actually doing something as you're reading it. Let me show you a book that I've already annotated with tabs and the whole ordeal. Here is a book that I have already annotated. As you can see, there's lots and lots and lots of tabs, and every color stands for something different. This is The Toll by Neil Shusterman. This is book 3 of the Scythe series, which I absolutely adored. The different colors represent different things. Now I also have pens so that as I underline stuff, the pen matches the tab. So you can see purple pen, purple tab, orange pen, orange tab. Obviously, I had to order pens, so everything is kept into a little handy dandy bag that I can carry with me that has all my stuff in it. The bag is by Home Cube. I'll put a link down to it in the description box below. But this thing has a zipper. I have a large Post-it note. I have tabs, and then I have my pens. I only need one of them in there. Wondering where my pens were going. I have my colored pens that correlate to the color of tab that I may need for the book. And as you can see, there's 2 different shades of purple, so that's why I have dark purple and light purple. As an added bonus in this little pen bag, I usually keep my coffee bean pen. There's real coffee beans in this thing. Okay, look, oh, they're real coffee beans. I love this. They're in a resin, and the pen, it smells like coffee beans, you guys. This is a clicky because once you start clicking, you just kind of don't stop. But I keep this with me because anything that's just like random notes to myself or something, I will write in this kind of pen. And because the longer I hold it and I smell it and I rub on it, it's just, you always have coffee with you. If you want to get a pen like this, I actually got it from Pens by Mandy. You can find her on Facebook, not set up as a business page, it is set up as a person. So the first name is Pens by, one word, and then the last name is Mandy. But she makes some of the coolest pens, and this is one of my absolute favorites. My husband got it for me. Best pen ever. So I have tabs and I have pens. These are gonna be kind of your supply kit, right? That all go into that bag. And then as you're reading and you come across things, that's when you decide kind of what you're gonna do. Okay, I did not put in the front of this book what each of the colors mean because you kind of, as you're reading, you kind of figure it out. Now what I did do is I did cut up the cover and tape it inside the book. Don't kill me, but I hate the dust jackets, you guys. Really not a fan of the dust jackets. So I went ahead and cut it up and put it inside the book. I did the same at the end of the book. I saved the important parts. My general rule of thumb for color is that pink will be for anything that is relationship or lovey-dovey, anything that's kind of sweet like that. Green is usually for really interesting stuff, one-liners that are prophetic or can be applied to life, or just, you know, some of my favorite bits. It's green because green's my favorite color. See how that, yeah. Major plot points happen in the purples, which is also the most common color, which works out well because there are 2 of the different purples down there, just so that if I just kind of need to go through the book again and see the important stuff that happened or remind myself where I am in the story, I can just kind of look for the purple things and it'll let me know the major stuff that's happening. Orange is for anything that's funny. So if I find something humorous, haha, joking in a book, it's usually going to be orange because I think that orange is just a very fun color. Yellow, this is kind of anything that is book specific. So whether it's world building, whether it's telling me details about a specific character that I need to keep track of throughout the story if it affects the story in some way and I need to know that stuff, that usually goes down in yellow so that it reminds reminds me of here's why this may be happening in the story, is because it was in relation to either the world or the character at another time. Blue pen is for anything that's sad. See, I'm telling you, it's like literally stuff. Blue is for the sad part. So if there's anything where like people are dying, if it's where there's kind of that heart to heart between two characters, because one of them is leaving or something like that. Okay, so examples of why I use these different colors. So again, this is The Toll by Neil Shusterman, page 105. It got pink tab. I'd better go before Murina gets jealous. She's very protective of me, and I of her. It was alluding to the fact that there was this relationship that was budding between two characters. The purple over here is telling me important plot points. I went ahead and underlined it about here's the situation that we're in right now. This is important. The council agreed that Goddard was not eligible and that Scythe Curie should be high blade. There's a lot of orange in this book, which I find awesome because it is a very serious situation going on. I laugh even just saying it. But some of the lines in here are just so great. Let's take a look at The House in the Cerulean Sea. I have not read this book before. I know that there's supposed to be some lovey-dovey stuff in here, so I know that I will be using pink at some point. Okay, so within just the first couple of pages, I've already underlined some stuff and put tabs in. There's a couple of funny parts in here. On like the first page, I've got the lady who runs the orphanage, and she says that if she wasn't running this orphanage, she'd be traveling with a circus as a lemur trainer, or even have opened up a gallery to share her artwork with the world. And apparently it's rather crazy artwork. Then I've got a second page where I have two different tabs. The first one is about this one character that we're talking to. It's a little girl who obviously has some kind of powers. It says modern research suggests extreme emotional states can trigger instances such as yours, sadness, anger, even happiness. It's kind of telling me about the world in here and that there is a department in charge of magical use. So that's something that I kind of wanted to tab so that I have something on the world building. And then the other orange tab here, yes, that's exactly it. Marcus made me so happy when he stole my colored pencils that I accidentally threw a chair at him. You can see like just in the first couple of pages, I'm already starting to get some tabs in here. That's just the first couple of pages, which is pretty cool. You don't have to use tabs. You can just do colored pens. In the book, I mean, you can see the colors and they go along with the tabs. It's up to you. It's your system. You can do this however you want. This system is what works for me. Stick the tabs out just a little bit at the end. You can stick them out however far you want. No one cares but you because it's your book. Some people like to put a lot of really personal comments in there, and there's a lot of relatable things in stories a lot of times. Your annotations can get very personal very fast. It just depends on how much you really put into it. By annotating and choosing the color that coordinates to what's going on in the story, it also helps me stay fully aware of what I'm doing. I really take in the story a lot more than if I was just speed reading it, because you have to constantly stay vigilant on how this statement in this book is affecting you. It can take you much longer to read it by annotating, but it doesn't necessarily have to. I tell you what, if you get one of those clicker pens that has all the different colored inks, you just click your way through that sucker. You can go through this really fast. But again, it's totally up to you. Find your own style, figure out what colors work for you. If you just want to go through and randomly underline stuff because it has some kind of reaction for you just to try writing in a book, that's up to you. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know if you are thinking about annotating down in the comments below, or if you have annotated, is your system similar? Is it totally different? Let me know what it is that you do down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys, and I will see y'all on the next video. Bye, you guys.